Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
All right, everybody. How are we doing this morning? Yeah, baby, let's do this.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Oh, my God. What a week we had, David Difference.
Yeah, magical, man. Oh,
that's a lot of magic.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of magic. You were there.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to get into that, man.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. This is the Mark Hoke Show. We are the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment, universe-wide. Just step out the way.
Okay. I like the aggressive.
Yeah.
You coming in hot.
Let's do it. I'm Mark Hoke along with the David Difference.
Oh, what a difference a Dave makes.
Is there a math equation that goes with that?
There is. 2 + 2.
That's it?
Yep, that's it. It's simple.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that easy.
Yeah, well, most people don't. They overthink it.
So, like, if I say 3 + 3, is that
It's a whole different thing. I don't even know what that is.
Well, I'm just checking.
Get out the calculators, kids.
I mean, I wonder what happens if I use the Pythagorean theorem.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. See, Dave, you gotta maybe you could make even more of a difference by using algebra.
This is a wrestling show, man. I don't know. I don't think I'm alone on this one.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Maybe that's it, man.
Oh, sorry. I'm having flashbacks from 8th grade now. Yikes. But anyway, let's talk a little pro wrestling, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I'm debating on where I want to start this thing. I guess we ought to talk about Double or Nothing.
Of course we do.
Of course, here in Las Vegas, a lot of chatter about this card, and somehow, David, you and I had one of the more interesting and couple of encounters, shall we say, that we could have had down at T-Mobile Arena.
Oh, yeah. Of course, man. It was quite the adventure we had that day, man.
I'm going to save yours because it's kind of a downer.
Is it a downer?
Well, I mean, there is justice.
There was justice, ladies and gentlemen.
There was justice.
There was justice had on a Double or Nothing Sunday, man. I'm just a prelude to it is I felt disrespected.
Oh,
you don't disrespect the difference.
All right, let's just do it. So, well, I want to talk wrestling, but this is just kind of a funny story for everybody. So, being the maniac that I am, and of course remembering lines like at WrestleMania Media, we got down to the T-Mobile pretty early.
T-Mobile Arena, yes, sir.
We were there about 2:15ish.
Mm-hmm.
Get over and go to the window where we're supposed to be at for media. It even says media. We were sending an email, be at this spot, and there we were.
Window 11.
Sign there. Stanchions, all sorts of stuff saying media credentials.
Media.
Yeah. So pretty obvious, considering every factor that was available to us. That was where we were supposed to be.
That was our home.
That's no question about it. So we're standing there waiting, and all of a sudden, the gentleman that is in ticket booth 10, who's serving nobody, by the way.
Right, nobody is there.
No one is going to this guy. Like everybody, like the other windows are down around the wall. He's at the end with us. There's no one coming near him.
I'm starting to think he was there for a reason. Like they put him there so he's not helping people.
Well,
I just thought of that, probably.
So all of a sudden, this guy calls Dave over to the window. I'm like, okay, maybe we're getting some assistance here. This is all good.
Yeah, VIP, man.
Dave, what happened to you when you got pulled over to the window?
Well, so initially we went in, right, and he said media starts at 3. you got to wait in line. Okay, there's no line. It's just me and you. So we go back, and we're just talking. We're shooting it. And, about 5 minutes later, he flags me over, and I said, yes, can I? What's going on? And he said, can I help you? And I said, we just talked. You said to wait in line. He said, I need you to move because you're blocking other people from getting tickets. And
which is hilarious because there was nobody near us.
Right. And so I thought he was joking, so I'm like, are you being serious right now? He said, yeah, if they can't buy tickets, that's bad business for us, and that could be real bad for you.
Woo.
And I said,
oh, boy.
Excuse me? And I said, you're coming across rude. He said, ask me if I'm rude. Don't tell me I'm rude. I said, no, I'm sensing that you're rude, so I'm telling you that you're rude. And I ain't going to get all hyped up, so I walk back and I take a breath and I say, Mark, I think this guy's out of control. And what does Mark say? Rose-colored glasses. Oh, he's just being helpful. I said, nah, this guy's being a jerk, man. So he calls me back over. Or he's just mugging me. So I go back over. I'm like, are we good? I mean, what's going on? And he said, I need you to move again. And at this point, I said, I don't want to have to get your supervisor, but I see her creeping up behind him. And that's the point when I just walk back to line. About 5 minutes later, she comes out. And she apologizes profusely. Oh, Mr. Difference, Mr. Hoke, we are so sorry. Upgraded our seats, everything. It was ridiculous.
Well, I gave her the whole, hey, by the way, just so you know, we're local press here. We're at 101.5 FM KDAWN.
Yeah. Right.
Which always kind of gets them a little more nervous because you say nice way, but just, the word will get around because that's what we do.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Hoke. Mr. Hoke, I'm so sorry. Right? So that's how I remember the story. So she goes down. I said, no problem. We're here to see the show. This guy's a little out of control. But, we're good. We're good. 5 minutes later, we see his window shut, and I'm like, oh, maybe they put him on break. And then
slid him down.
Right.
There are open windows.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the really funny parts about all this.
Right.
We could see down to window 1, and I think there were 5 windows that were occupied, and maybe even 4 of them were getting people walking up at that point.
Not this guy. So it goes down. He disappears. Then he comes back. I turn around and look. This is about 10 minutes later. I turn around and look, and he's just mugging me. And I'm like, Mark, is this guy mugging me? And Mark's like, I don't know. He's trying to ignore it at this point. But then fast forward, about 5 minutes later, the arena doors burst open.
Dum, 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 dum.
Here comes this guy with, he's got his backpack, 4 security guards around him. They're kicking him off the premises.
Dude, there were 4 people surrounding this guy.
Yeah. He was having a bad day, man. So they walked him off the property. He was cussing and ranting and, looking at everybody crazy, and he's gone, man.
He gone.
So that's that. Yeah, don't disrespect the difference.
No, bad idea.
Don't do it.
Well, you had a pretty good resolution to your disrespecting. And thanks to Brianna down there for taking care of that, by the way.
Oh, yeah. She handled that professionally. The T-Mobile Arena, it's a class act, man.
They don't mess around.
Yeah.
So don't mess around with the staff at T-Mobile
They
Arena.
handled that. He was having a bad day, man. Shout out to that guy. If you're there, call in, man. I want to talk. Let's squash it. Let's get you on the right path, man. Let's get your mind right because some triggered you. It wasn't me because I bring positive energy and joy to people.
I mean, if we were being terrible human beings, but we weren't. We were just standing there, and we weren't even near the booth. We were kind of back away. It was weird, but well, you got over your disrespecting and got results.
Yeah, but mine didn't go viral.
Mine not so much.
Right.
Forsooth, we were in the post Double or Nothing media scrum, and I'm stepping up, man.
Yeah, asking
I'm like, we're gonna go. First guy that is brought in is the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF.
MJF, man. Yeah. I was juiced. Like, let's go. Let's do this, man. But then
take a breath, put my hand up, and this ended up being the result of my first interaction with Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Hi, Mark Hoke, the Mark Hoke Show, 101.5 FM KDAWN here in Las Vegas. Congratulations on your victory tonight, sir.
Congrats on having type 3 diabetes, Mark. How may I help you?
Not quite.
Pretty
Not quite.
fat, but it's okay. What's your
good.
question?
It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Mark, so I'm sitting there filming this.
Yes, you were.
And I don't want to look over at you because I don't know how you're going to I should have filmed your reaction in that moment, but I just looked straight ahead and was like, damn, he roasted my boy.
Should we hear that again? Should we hear that one more time?
Yeah.
Hi, Mark Hoke, the Mark Hoke Show, 101.5 FM KDAWN here in Las Vegas. Congratulations on your victory tonight, sir.
Congrats on having type 3 diabetes, Mark. How may I help you?
Not quite.
Pretty
Not quite.
fat, but it's okay. What's your
Good.
question?
It's all good.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I will throw this out too. So Dave made a couple videos that went up. Eventually, once we got out of there, he has a video up there of Tony Khan's reaction to all of this. It reminded me of my grandmother used to have this Amish door knocker, right? Amish lady.
Okay. All right.
With just these tiny little pupils, and it creeped me out.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't want to get near that thing.
Okay.
Like, I'm never touching that door knocker. It's scary.
All right.
Tony Khan was bug-eyed, and he was looking over at me when I asked the question. And he's not moving, by the way. It's just his eyes.
Right.
This was like one of those paintings in a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Right.
His eyes go over to Max. Max says what he says. I start interacting back, and he looks at me and then looks back at Max, and you could just see that his heart was sinking.
Yeah, man.
Max took another piece of his soul away. Poor Tony Khan.
Yeah, seemed very uncomfortable, man. But let me ask you what's your instant reaction? Because like I said, I didn't want to look at you, man. I didn't know if you was over there tearing up or what. What was your...
I just kept going. I mean, what am I going to do?
You're a professional, man.
I got some suggestions, on how I should have handled it. But I thought it was fine. There's no such thing as type 3 diabetes.
Well...
That's dead.
It's yet to be discovered, maybe.
Well, let's not.
Okay. So you don't have type 3?
No.
Look at him. Cured.
No.
Cured in a week, man.
No.
No, it's not even a thing. Yeah, well.
But anyway, so as when I get home, I see the Public Enemies podcast has cut this thing up and put it up on their Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
Over 500,000 people watched that little video. Not to mention the 150,000 that watched the Scrum video.
Right.
Plus, not to mention what we put up on our various social media.
Virality.
Plus, my good buddy Ken Thompson on SportsX Radio here Monday through Friday. When I showed him the video, was like a gleeful little child who had just been given a whole tub of lollipops.
Yeah.
Like the little dum-dums.
Yeah.
And he couldn't stop eating them.
Right.
Right? Just click. Oh, I got to watch it again. Click. Ken got 2 segments out of that on the show on Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an iconic moment, man. I mean, maybe not what we want to go viral for over here at the Mark Hoke Show. But however, we'll take it.
I'm okay. I'm fine.
You okay? You didn't cry on the way home?
No, I didn't cry.
All right.
I do a better headlock than Max does.
Okay. Well,
I do.
All right. So
I probably got to dust it off a little bit, but yeah, that was kind of my big finish in high school. I finished a lot of people off with a headlock.
That's interesting.
He might be stepping the wrong way on that.
Has he reached out to apologize? Do you expect an apology?
No,
for this?
I don't. Of course not.
No.
Now, maybe AEW should punish him by putting him on the show. That would be okay.
Let's make that happen.
But Max, heard and understood, buddy. You're the champ.
Say what you want.
But come into my house.
That is a challenge.
Come into my house,
Yeah,
Mr.
man.
Freeman. But of course, pretty good on the mic. That
You-
could be a war.
You or him?
Both of us.
Okay, yeah. So you can go toe to toe with MJF on the mic.
Boy, that would be rough.
Yeah, it'll be a tough one, man. But
I have a different style than he does. I kind of sit back and then punch.
right.
More of a counter puncher.
Yeah, he's straight to the jug.
Yeah. But I wasn't the only one that got flamed there, too. I was going back and watching that, and somebody got called Dumbo ears, and yeah, he was on a roll.
Yeah, that's what he does. I mean, so you look at like the culture nowadays. Like, if anybody, I mean, I guess it's just part of the business what we do. Because I was expecting to see comments of people like, "Oh, that ain't right." Everybody just kind of laughing, or a few people that ain't right. But people make an issue out of everything.
Yeah. Don't everybody.
So you're good with it.
I'm good.
You didn't cry on the way.
No, I didn't cry. David Difference, stop that.
All right, man. I'm just checking.
Takes a lot more than that, buddy.
All right.
Takes a lot more than that. You might have to, maybe if he puts me in some sort of nasty hold,
Right.
then I might cry. Maybe.
Okay.
No, actually, I wouldn't give him the sasatisfaction.
Well,
I'll just pass out.
Yeah. Cry, then pass out. I'd like to see that.
Wow.
Well, it
Wow.
would be good for social media, man.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
All right.
David Difference, everybody.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it was crazy.
Yeah, so we had an interesting time at T-Mobile, other than the wrestling, which when we come back from our break, we're going to talk about, because I'll tell you, there was some interesting assessments on this card from outside, including from a good friend of mine online who thinks that Double or Nothing should not be in Las Vegas anymore.
Oh, I want to talk about that. Yeah.
Stunning stuff. So, guys, stick around. We're going to break down Double or Nothing, and we're going to talk about what was going on in Las Vegas. This is going to be interesting. So please join us on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll see you on the other side of the break for the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on KDAWN. We'll be right back. The Mark Hoke Show is proud to announce our partnership with pro wrestling's premier charity, the Cauliflower Alley Club. For nearly 60 years, the CAC has stood strong, assisting members of the wrestling industry in their times of need. Please join us in supporting the Cauliflower Alley Club by becoming a member for just $25 a year, or make an individual donation today. Go to caulifloweralleyclub.org and give back to the people that have brought us so much entertainment and joy in pro wrestling. Once again, that's caulifloweralleyclub.org.
Infinite Wellness can help you achieve your goals and look and feel your best. Our regenerative medicine clinic utilizes stem cell and exome therapy. We also have a comprehensive weight loss program and numerous other services you can find on our website at infinitewellness.info. We're located at 8925 West Post Road, Suite 100, right across from IKEA. You can book your appointment today by calling us at 702-842-2244 or find us on social media at infinitewellness.lv. We'd love to be a part of your journey.
101.5 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. It is the talk of Las Vegas. We are the talk of the wrestling world, because that's what we do. I'm Mark Hoke, the David Difference.
Oh, what a difference Dave makes. You already know that. But real quick, before we get into this Vegas talk, man, I have got the strangest email that could be something huge. It's talking about we may be granted the biggest interview in wrestling history that will change the game, the dynamics, one of the biggest. It's weird. I thought you sent it to me.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought you was ribbing me, man. But I'm gonna read that a little later, man.
Right.
It is weird, and maybe you can help me decipher this thing.
I don't know, man. It sounds like it's in Gaelic.
Yeah, well,
I haven't read this, but just from what you're telling me, I've got no clue.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we may have the biggest interview in professional wrestling history, according to this email, unless it was you.
It was not me.
All right.
Cannot take credit for that.
I trust you.
But what I can take credit for is making sure that everybody out there this morning in Las Vegas has a great breakfast.
Oh.
That I can do. So if you want to just have an unbelievable meal today, whether it's breakfast, lunch, go enjoy some jazz today, get on over to Unique Eats over at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100. Celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco. Man, Dave, we got to go. I got to have you do one of Dom's pizzas. He competes in international competitions and wins.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
And they got jazz today.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of jazz. Let's head over there after the show, man.
Man, I wish I had time, buddy.
Oh,
but we will. We'll get over there. But seriously, guys, get over there to Unique Eats. Tell them the Mark Hoke Show sent you. And, beer and wine, too. Smoothie bar, vegetarian options. They do catering. Unbelievable place. 3100 South Durango, Suite 100. And, of course, if you would like to, you can visit the website, uniqueeatslv.com, or give them a call, 702-992-3038. That's 702-992-3038, 702-992-3038. Unique Eats. And I know Dom just revamped the menu a little bit, too, so some new dishes.
Oh.
And the man can cook, so make sure you check it out.
I'm headed over there. You always talk about food. Like, why don't you bring it in? So when I get here, I got my meal ready, man.
Because Dom's not open by the time I head down there.
All right, true that. Okay.
I wish I could.
All is forgiven, man.
If I didn't have to do so much work for the show.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Poor Mark.
Dave's killing himself, by the way. I got to give him that.
Yeah, man. Look at my hustle, man.
You are hustling.
All right.
And by the way, if you need videos or graphic designs done or anything like that, you got to get in touch with this guy.
Yeah, let's go.
Absolutely amazing.
Let's go.
You see some of the stuff on YouTube and our social media. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, go to Instagram, TikTok, man. We doing things. We changing. It's all about branding and, the rebirth.
Yeah. All right. So how about we get into Double or Nothing? Now that we've vented about the hell that we went through over there.
Right. Heavenly hell. It was good.
It's funny, Dave, that a lot of people have been saying that the crowd was dead over there first. And I really want to address this because I got asked this on Fightful Overbooked. I got asked this on Stu Myrick's show, Sports Guys Talking Wrestling in Austin when I did an interview with them. Everybody's asking me about this. And I don't know where people are getting this. And I haven't seen the broadcast, so I don't know.
Right.
But I could only think of about two spots the whole night where the crowd was kind of The end of the Jericho match.
Right.
And the Jamie Hayter situation when they were dragging her out to the ring. That one was a little too.
Right.
But, I mean, Dave, do you think it's a fair statement to say the crowd was pretty good?
That was my, going back watching review shows, the testament was the crowd was dead in Vegas. The crowd was not into this, and I was like, did I miss something? Because they were hot the whole night, except for a couple spots, right? And then when I went back and watched all the videos I had, they were popping for everything.
Yeah, I don't know where everybody was getting that. So I don't know if they think that this is like a Puerto Rican crowd or an English crowd that's supposed to be there, but it was loud in there.
I think that the shots that came, when it showed the empty seats on the hard cam side, people just took that and ran with it. That filled up as well as the show went out. And that was the first match, when they took it with the Battle Royal. But yeah, I was I had people watch it. I talked to Gerald, and he said that he thought everybody was popping. It was a good show, but everybody I saw online was nah, it was dead there. Do not go back to Vegas.
This tweet came from a new friend of mine. Let me get that tweet up here. Matt Black, who is the senior editor over at WrestleZone.com.
Okay.
Here's what he said, and I felt bad because we just start talking, and I had to jump on him on this. Here was his tweet. He was talking to the Busted Open guys and said, people travel for AEW pay-per-views since there used to be only 4 a year. People choose Forbidden Door over DON since they were a month apart. And here is where he got me. Vegas is not, in caps, a good wrestling city. DON needs to go elsewhere next year. Wow.
Yeah.
So I kind of jumped in on that.
Okay.
Because I'm not seeing that. Dave, you and I, you were down at the FSW facility for how many cards?
83.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Yeah, it was pandemonium.
A lot of other cards all over the city. And the section of the hard cam was open for a little bit.
Right.
But otherwise, the building was full.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw maybe a couple seats here or there, but nothing major that would make me go, "Oh my God, there's a problem." But I will agree with this: the having open doors so close to Double or Nothing, that could affect a little bit. I mean, we did have a lot of foreign travelers in here, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah. A
lot of Europeans were in for this.
Mm-hmm.
But we also had a lot going on this weekend too.
I met Umbutu from Nigeria. He came.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Seen him in Umbutu. Shout out to you.
We had the Stanley Cup playoffs were going on, and we had just had a game the night before. So, if there were some last minute ticket sales to be had, the money might have gone to that. I get that.
Right.
The city's torn apart right now. For those that don't know, we're dealing with the exit off Tropicana, which is the main road that goes down past like New York, MGM Grand. It's a pretty big, important thoroughfare. That's destroyed. That heads back, and then the other side heads back towards, you get off to go to Allegiant Stadium. And we're also dealing with the Formula One situation, where the most of the strip and the area is ripped to shreds because they feel like we have to work on all the roads at once instead of doing maybe one at a time or two.
Get her done.
It's a disaster.
Hold on. So you're saying once we get the roads fixed, then it'll be a good wrestling town? I'm gonna tell you.
It didn't help for this because there's a lot of travelers coming in, and plus you have locals too. And you know what it's like to be a local here in Las Vegas, Dave, right?
Mm-mm.
Do you go to the Strip?
Mm-mm.
Right. We don't go to the Strip. We go down there if there's maybe a concert or a show we want to see, if maybe we want to have a really good meal and go to one of the restaurants down there.
Chica's Bonitas.
That is not on the Strip.
It's in the, well, all right.
That is not on the Strip, David Difference.
Shout out to Chica's.
But we don't go there. And,
right.
And like I said, if there were some last minute ticket sales to be had between the nights doing so well and people just, I'm telling you, nobody wants to come down here that lives here right now. I kind of don't blame them, to a point.
But I don't look at it like it was a failed show. But I did at the media scrum. Tony kind of alluded to he's looking into what's the best option. I love it because of the energy it creates in this town, for the wrestling community. And so just the last 2 years, now it's something we're programmed like, oh, can't wait for Memorial Day. So I've heard people talk like it's got to go out of Vegas. I heard Tony Khan talking about we'll weigh and see what's going on, what's best for this and that. And I was a little saddened by that news.
Yeah, me too.
Let's keep it here. Let's make it a beautiful thing because it is. But AEW, Tony Khan, bring it back, man. We'll do better.
And I think there were flaws in the booking too, because you remember about 3 weeks we did a show 3 weeks before it. There were only 2 matches on the card.
Right.
Now, the year before, we kind of knew CM Punk was going to be here. Mm-hmm. So that got everybody juiced up a little bit. And now, Forbidden Door is already sold out.
Right.
But they just announced 2 matches over the last couple of days with Bryan Danielson taking on Okada, which is, and if you don't know about the Rainmaker, the best wrestler in Japan. And many consider him to be one of the top 3 to 5 wrestlers in the world. They're finally going to hook it up. Kenny Omega is going to get another match with Will Ospreay, defending his IWGP United States Championship. That would be enough to sell an arena out if they hadn't announced the ticket sales yet. Those matches are huge. We didn't get that.
Right.
So, one suggestion, if Tony sat down and said, what happened? That's one thing that I would say. You got to get that card together a little faster.
You want to role play real quick? I'll be Tony Khan.
No, I don't want to role play.
Hey, Mark.
Wow.
What could we have done better?
Well, I just told you, Tony Khan. Go back and listen to the podcast.
You don't talk to me like that.
Well, maybe I will.
You're a small-time hack in a small-time
city. Yeah, but the one that you're trying to sell out of pay-per-view, buddy. Look, I really do take exception to And nothing against Matt. I think a lot of people were some reason criticizing Las Vegas. Man, this is a busy town, and you've got to be flawless in your marketing.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, I think, like I said, they didn't fill that section behind, where the hard cam is.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of cards do that, but usually they have that covered up. For some reason, they didn't cover it up. I think that was a mistake.
Right. Well, it filled up a little bit more throughout the night, but,
Right.
I mean, again, it was the card, I would say, at first glance, even at last glance, was like, whatever. But it was an amazing show. So
Yeah.
it translated. So I think if you're looking at the card, like maybe I'll skip this one. And a lot of people that came out for the GCW show, for the FSW shows, were like, nah, I'm not going to that. So, or they watch it on TV. So,
No, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that, but yeah. So Vegas is a very good wrestling town, guys.
the greatest.
It's unreal out here. But like I said, just some little things could have been done better.
Well,
No.
always.
But I want to go back and watch the broadcast sometime and see if I agree with that crowd assessment. Because like I said, I can't. We were there. We didn't see that. I mean, if the crowd was dead, I'd say the crowd was dead, but we weren't dead. So.
Yeah. I've been at shows where it's just like, oh man, this is not good, But there was energy the whole night. Like, they was popping. I was like, what are they popping for? Who's that? I didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will get into what happened at Double or Nothing here, because some significant goings on, including an undefeated streak, is over. Done. Finito. So, and another, of course, world champion survived his 4-way match. We'll discuss that and a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show when we come back. Mark Hoke, the David Difference, here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. We'll be right back. If you're looking for an award-winning dining experience at outstanding prices, look no further than Unique Eats. Whether it's their incredible breakfast platters, amazing pastas and sandwiches, or world-renowned pizzas, celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco will have you covered. Check out their coffee and smoothie bar, vegetarian options, catering, and top-flight service. Visit Unique Eats today at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100. Call 702-992-3038 or go to uniqueeatslv.com, and we'll see you all at Unique Eats.
In a kayfabe world, LasVegasWrestlingScene.com brings you the real story. Las Vegas Wrestling Scene is the source for pro wrestling news, along with their up-to-date events calendar. Visit LasVegasWrestlingScene.com.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we return on the Mark Hoke Show, 101.5 FM KDAWN, the Talk of Las Vegas. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. I got my co-host by my side.
The David Difference, baby.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. He's very David-y today.
What does that even mean?
Well, it's you. You're unique. So it is a state of uniqueness that only you could possibly market, sell, and just be.
Oh, well, thank you. That is the nicest thing anybody has ever said to me, Mark.
There's no way that's possible.
Nah, man, I appreciate you, man. We're having fun, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Aren't we having fun, Mark?
Yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
I almost forgot about this.
What's that?
Did you see that I sneaked on the Jim Cornette podcast?
I did see that, man. You're trending worldwide, man. You're blowing up everywhere.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, I won't say. I was excited because when I first heard it, I thought, oh, I'm going to get to pull a little soundbite out of that I can play on the show because I thought Cornette mentioned the station. Jim did not mention the station.
Oh, yeah. They just played the clip there.
No, he did.
Oh, he did. Yeah. What?
He said K something else.
Yeah.
It was another word that started with a D
Oh.
that
yeah.
we cannot use. So,
Yeah, well.
but thanks Brian and Jim for playing the scrum, and so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, man. They did it. You did it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, by the way, was it really crappy at WWE to run all their events on Memorial Day weekend too, because normally I get an email from WWE about how they broke all these records and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that email this last week. Did not get that email, and apparently, they had NXT Battleground, which I had read that it was been since like the early '90s that the two major companies have had events going against each other, and apparently Battleground didn't do good numbers either. The Double or Nothing did okay. It was around like 125 to 140,000 pay-per-view buys. It was down a hair, but
from last year.
Yeah,
Oh,
but still, I mean, just why would WWE do that?
Well, why do you think?
Well, yeah, it's a vanity project, is what it is.
Yeah.
That's a vanity. Oh, you think you have Memorial Day weekend? Oh, here we are.
Is that WWE?
Yeah, that's WWE.
I like it. How they sound?
Yeah, yeah. That's what you do. No, I'm kidding. Shouldn't bust on WWE too much, but I thought
Too late.
I thought it was a bad idea. I really thought that was a bad idea. Why not have a weekend to yourself?
Well, you look at for the fans. I think it was a good idea. I mean, there was just so much. I had to go back and watch the Night of Champions, afterwards. So it gave me something.
I watched it at 11 o'clock before we did the show, at night before we did the show. I just thought it was on at a bad time. You put it on Saturday. I mean, here, that's 9 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
It was 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., something like that. I mean, that's terrible timing for anybody here that wants to watch that. On Memorial Day weekend, too. You're probably out getting besnookered on Friday night. And you're not getting up to watch that. Especially when you can replay it later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, everybody watched. I don't know. We had it streaming over at FSW while the show was going on. So, it was just a lot of wrestling.
It was too much.
Never too much.
No, it was too much. I'm going to say it now. It was too much wrestling. Way too much.
Okay.
But, and I'll tell you what, before we get into Double or Nothing, I think we may end up saving the review of Double or Nothing for the next hour because there's more wrestling coming from AEW, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We had a big special announcement. Ding, 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 ding. Special announcement, Tony Khan.
Yep.
That AEW Collision will be starting on June 17th. First episode from the United Center as the Saturday night show kicks off. And guess who's going to be there?
CM Punk.
You bet.
Yeah, did we doubt it? Give me a break.
We pretty much knew it was coming.
Everybody knew. If you didn't think it was happening, then something's wrong with you.
Yeah, so CM Punk will be apparently the main staple of that Collision show on Saturday nights. That's going to be on TNT from 8 to 10. So, guys, we got Saturday Night Wrestling. Dave, are you excited about Saturday Night Wrestling on TV?
I am. I'll check it. I don't even have TV, so I don't know. I have to watch the clips or something or come down here to the station and watch with you.
Okay.
Or something. But, yeah, that's a way to kick off a show because everybody's going to want to tune in. What's Punk going to say? What's Punk going to do? And, yeah, I think it's going to be a huge kickoff to this show, and hopefully they just follow it up week after week with some magic.
Yeah, it's Saturday. Saturday night's a tough night. That's a tough night. But that's why we have DVRs,
What's that now?
Yeah, that's why we have DVRs.
Oh.
Because, a lot of us are doing things on Saturday night, so it'd be great if you're home. But yeah, I think the show will be okay. CM Punk has typically been their biggest drawing card. So, it should be entertaining to see what Phil Brooks pulls out. And if you didn't see also, by the way, apparently he and Ace Steel has been back with the company for a few months. So he's apparently been hanging around. So his time away from AEW has been over a while ago. And they're working on the creative for the show.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Well, I just think, I think it's all the work. It's great marketing, because now we're all hyped and invested, and also thinking about that show. I'm looking forward to it because there's so many people on the roster. I was tripping off at Double or Nothing. It's like when I went back and saw the whole roster, it's like there's so many people that weren't on that show,
right? That
would have been amazing. And it's like, let's spread them out. Let's give people their shine. And I like the whole split up, roster so other people could stand out. I think it's good. Initially, I was like, another wrestling show, come on. But then now I understand that there's a lot of talent that needs some time.
Well, and with them getting rid of Dark and Elevation, I think that's obviously part of the reason why, too. You know, Warner Bros. Discovery wanted to be in control of all the content from AEW. So that was the main reason they ditched those shows that were playing on YouTube. But now they've got a third show to replace it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this will be an interesting experiment. It's been a long time since we've had a Saturday night wrestling show on.
Remember, Saturday night's main event was my I remember
awesome.
seeing in the TV guide they'd have the little ad coming. I cut that out. I put that on my wall. It was the little black and white Saturday night's main event. I'd be juiced. My grandma like, don't cut it up until I read it.
Nice.
I get in there, get that little piece out, and then Saturday night's main event. Let's go. It was a special night. It was special, man. Saturday night's main event was a thing. My grandma, don't you cut that till I read it.
Wow.
I love her to death.
Hear that Animation song coming on?
I don't know what that is.
The graphic, that classic graphic, and then you would see Hulk Hogan and everybody else popping in the door. And still, the biggest television show ever. That 33 million people had tuned in to see the Hogan-Andre rematch that ended up being the end of Hulkamania's reign.
Was that was with the Hebners, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, so I remember that night distinctly. My grandpa's sitting there. We're in the living room, and I'm just amped. When Hogan, I'm pacing through the house, stomping. He was like, calm down, David. I was like, you don't understand. Like, I was so livid. And I just remember him was like, just settle down, man. And I was so distraught.
I was not pleased. I'm like, how could that stand? Where did they get the twin?
Yeah, I was hard.
Because we were kids. We didn't really know there were Hebner twins back then.
No clue.
You know? So that was an amazing night. I will never forget that one. But, man, I love Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, there was just a magical feel about that. I mean, again, I think, you know, with them kid lenses on, everything was magical.
Yeah, that's true. But,
yeah.
You know, it was a special time with Hulkamania and everything else. And, you know, you just had so many incredible wrestlers in the WWF at the time that it was hard to not tune in and watch.
Oh, there was nothing else, right? You waited.
Yeah, back then that was.
You waited for a show. I would go to the video store, Blockbuster, and you get your tapes. That was it. That's all we had. So when anything new live came on, it was like,
yes, sir. Speaking of live, we've got another live hour of the Mark Hoke Show coming up here on KDAWN. So we will get to that Double or Nothing review, and of course, we've got some bloodline action, some fallout. Jimmy Uso paid the price, baby. That he did. And Roman got a present.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if I like the present.
Yeah, I know you don't. What do you mean you're not sure? You're 100% sure you don't.
Okay, I hate it. Anyway, we will be back with more on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Make sure you follow us. Just look up Mark Hoke Show online. You'll find us everywhere. Stick around. We got hour 2 with Mark Hoke and the David Difference. We'll be right back. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.